In this unit, you will understand the definitions, indicators, and cultural and family dynamics of domestic violence, intimate partner violence. You'll also be able to identify the effects of domestic violence on children and adult victims. You'll understand how domestic violence affects parenting by offending and non-offending parents. You'll emerge from this unit able to understand the importance of appropriate interventions and responses in cases involving domestic violence, and you'll understand partner-family member assault under Montana law, CFSD policy, and the summary of protocols regarding CFSD responses to domestic violence cases. In this unit, you'll examine the importance of effective engagement and interview strategies with children, the non-offending parent, and the batterer when assessing child and non-offender parent safety. You'll understand the importance of collaboration with law enforcement, the judicial system, domestic violence programs, and batterers intervention programs in a coordinated community response to ensure victim safety and to increase consequences for abusers who fail to comply with sentencing or service plan requirements. To emerge with these core competencies, you'll be able to recognize the interplay between cultural and societal factors and be able to describe the cycle of violence, traits of batterers, and categories of domestic violence and effective interventions. At the end of this unit, you will have gained the following skills: how exposure to domestic violence typically affects children and adolescents, how to use the CFSD summary of protocols when working with families affected by domestic violence, how to accurately identify protective factors and appropriate interventions and responses, how to recognize resources and services that effectively assist families, including sample interview questions, possible criminal sanctions against the perpetrator, protection orders, support services, batterer interventions, and online resources. How to recognize evidence-based and promising practices that are effective in working with families experiencing domestic violence. In this unit, you'll develop empathy and understand the complex factors and stressors that women experience when deciding whether to leave an abusive relationship. You'll be able to identify best practice methods to engage, interview, assess, and educate a batterer, as recommended in CFSD's summary of protocols. And you'll be able to analyze and articulate factors relevant to an accurate safety assessment to protect children and parents affected by DV. To do this work, you will value and respect the importance of multidisciplinary cross-systems interventions in protecting and supporting children, adolescents, and families who experience domestic violence. You will also want to be very aware of the challenges faced by families in effectively protecting their children and adolescents from exposure to domestic violence, and you'll need to follow the CFSD summary of protocols in cases involving domestic violence to achieve better outcomes for children and families.